With temperatures on the rise, you need to really think seriously about how you water your plants, and in particular, how you manage water on your containerized plants. This plant here is a Carolina Reaper chili plant. Now, I've grown this plant in a terracotta pot, which does lead to some issues. Terracotta by its nature is very porous. So this pot and the container mix in it are going to dry out very, very rapidly when we get really bright sunny days with high temperatures. So what I'm going to do with this is water this plant and show you what happens with a plant when you think you have it watered. Now, this mix is relatively dry. To determine whether I want to water a container plant, I can stick my finger in to about the second digit and I can feel the tip of my finger there that's really dry. There's no moisture in there. There's a little bit, but very little. So when I'm watering, I'll use a soft nozzle on the hose, the shower nozzle, and we'd be watering away. Now, you would probably spend a few minutes doing this with your plants, and you may notice after a little while that the drainage hole down the bottom is going to start leaking moisture. And you might think, that plant's had enough water. Well, nothing could be further from the truth, because this container mix is relatively dry, and as drainage occurs, or as we're applying water, it's going to run down the sides between the wall of the pot, inside wall of the pot, and the growing media, and out through the drainage hole. So you might think you've watered enough, but you actually haven't. So if I leave that now to just soak through, you'll notice now there's water coming out the base of this particular pot. And we have a gorgeous little drainage hole there. Now, I need to saturate this soil because the center of this mix is still dry. This plant is under water stress, and it will continue to do so if I water in this fashion. So what I'm doing, if I sacrifice the front page of the Bugle, we're going to recycle it. What a great way to make sure you're getting value out of your Bugle. And I make a little plug. I wet that down. It's just a plug of Bugle newspaper, and I'm going to seal the bottom of that container with that plug temporarily. So now that's in place, I can place that plant down, and now when I water, what's going to occur is that as the water goes into this pot, that plug is going to make sure that the water in the container starts to rise up. And what you will notice as we get there, that the water level will rise to the top of the pot, and you'll see bubbles emerging from the potting media in that moisture. It might take just a little bit of time to notice that, but what that's doing, the water pressure being built up because of the plug, is forcing the air out of those dry pore spaces in this growing media. So the beauty of that is, once all of those air bubbles disperse, I will now have a saturated media. I can then remove that plug and allow it to drain. And then from here on, what I want to do is try and reduce the water stress on this containerized plant. How do I do that? I can use a number of products. When I'm repotting, I could use a granular wetting agent that goes into the potting mix, or I could buy a potting mix that already has these in place. I could also use a liquid wetting agent that actually helps relieve surface tension in the media so that it's easier for the water to disperse throughout that growing media in the container. And then the other thing I have up my sleeve is this stuff, which is basically a sunscreen for plants. It's an anti-transpirant or an anti-desiccant. We can spray this across the foliage of our plants, and what it does, it puts a surface layer of polymers over the leaf, which doesn't prevent the leaf from photosynthesizing or releasing gases to the atmosphere. It still allows those processes to occur, but it just slows them down. So your plant, during hot periods and in sunny days, is going to be less stressed. So there are a few things that you need to do to ensure your container plants over the course of summer can survive with correct watering technique and making sure that your pots are full. And you can see here now, we have all of the bubbles that are starting to emerge through this mix, pushing the air out, letting the water in. So we're going to end up with a plant that will be fully hydrated and ready to continue to grow and fruit for you over the season. So get your fingers dirty.